The local church has huge potential to bring hope and transformation to the most vulnerable and marginalised people in our world. The Compassion Resource Qavar can play an important role in making this a reality. Qavar equips the local church to build meaningful relationships with its community and out of this relationship identify and address common problems together.
In order to achieve this, the church must tackle two mindsets that trap people in poverty. These are fatalism and dependency. A fatalistic mindset is the result of people feeling that they have no choice, they have no options. They believe they have no control over what happens to them, and therefore they say to themselves, "What will be, will be." The other mindset of dependency is a belief and acceptance in poor communities that they have no resources, and therefore the only way they can survive is by handouts.
How do we change these mindsets? How do we help people see that they are of value, that they have talents and gifts and resources to offer, and that they can do things for themselves and shape their own future? Well, we do this by helping individuals and groups to discover for themselves key truths that can be found in Scripture. The process of discussing and reflecting on these passages deepens the understanding so that people become aware of God's love for them and that they have a role to play in building His kingdom.
So let's look at a couple of Bible studies in Qavar that reinforce these points. The story of blind Bartimaeus shows the unique role of the church in reaching out to the poor and marginalised. The story is significant in that Jesus invites the crowd to bring Bartimaeus forward so that he becomes the focus of everyone's attention. This is a challenge to us to put the poor at the centre of our ministry.
The woman who touched the cloak of Jesus was isolated in every possible way, physically, socially, emotionally, and spiritually. His response was to give her time, space, dignity, and healing. The story challenges us to ask ourselves, who are those people in our community who are trapped in the same way as this woman was, and in what ways can we alleviate their suffering and give them self-worth?
Poor and vulnerable people may feel that they have very little, but Bible stories such as the feeding of the 5,000 and Elisha and the widow's oil show clearly that if we offer the little we have to God, He can use it to create an abundance. From the willingness of a small boy to share his 5 loaves and 2 fish, a crowd in excess of 5,000 had more than enough to eat. And with a tiny drop of oil, a destitute widow was able to pay off her debts and earn enough for her and her 2 sons to live on. These studies challenge us to think about what a miracle would look like for our church and our community. And what do we have to offer to God?
Once the church, as individuals and as a body, have grasped their value before God and the fact that they have resources to offer, they're then encouraged to celebrate all these resources that exist within the church, and these can be used to help those in need in the church and community. These include human resources such as people's skills, gifts and experience, and physical resources such as buildings, land and money. All these can be used creatively to build strong communities which are self-reliant and confident in a vision for the future.
It is hoped that, having been envisioned, church members will have energy, confidence and unity. Energy to work together, confidence in the power of Scripture to transform mindsets, and unity over common vision to be salt and light in their community. This is often expressed through the coming together of young and old on a small initiative within the church, which will help to increase confidence further and build skills which they will then be able to use when working with their community.
The children and young people should always be part of this envisioning process. They too have gifts and talents, energy and passion that can be used to bless their communities.